Hey guys, it's Gabby. Today I'm going to be showing you how to remove your gel nails right at home without damaging your natural nails. And we're trying out a new product. This is the Nail Boo Magic Manicure Remover Bowl from Sally Beauty. And I'm so excited because it's electric. So it's basically going to warm up and make this process even easier, whether it's gel, acrylic, or dip nails. I'm just doing a quick unboxing, so you're going to get your directions, a little metal scraper tool to help you get the product off, and then the bowl, which I have to say, this looks so sleek and nice. It is ceramic, and I don't know, it reminds me of a coffee mug. But basically how it works, you get your base right here, and you just plug that in, and that's what's going to warm up, and then you're going to set the bowl on top of that because you can't heat up acetone directly. So it's essentially a double boiler method, and it does have a lid with the little finger compartments, but you can also just remove that and use the open bowl. But before we use the bowl, you need to remove that top layer. So I'm just using a nail file to do this. And this is one of those things, the more you file, the less time you'll have to soak. I just don't really like filing, so I just do the bare minimum of getting that top coat off. But if you're in a hurry, the best thing to do would be to thin out the product as much as you can, whether, again, that's gel, dip, or acrylic. So I'm just going in here with my nail file. You also want to use a nail file that has a pretty low grit, so you don't want anything too fine because that's going to take forever. And then after that, now we can use the bowl. And I realized too, this would be great to go ahead and get your bowl set up and then do this, but again, I was trying it for the first time. So right here, it has a little switch, and you're just going to power that on, and as you can see, the light's going to turn on, showing that it's starting to warm up. And then for the setup, I did put some paper towels underneath the base of this bowl, and then I'm going to put one little paper towel inside of the bowl. This is optional, but what it's going to do is give you something to kind of scratch your nails against when you're removing it, and that will help with the removal process too. Okay, next you are going to need 100% acetone. If you try to use regular nail polish remover, it will not work. This one is also from Sally Beauty, and I'm just going to pour that in. You just need enough so that when you put your hand in, it will cover your nails. So don't fill the bowl, that's a lot. And then again, you do have the option of adding the lid or just using the open bowl here. I did wait a few minutes for it to warm up. That's why I said you could file during this time, but you could also go ahead and start soaking your nails. You don't have to wait for it to warm up, but it does, I would say, it heated up pretty quickly, and this felt really nice. I don't know, maybe it's because I was cold too, but this was so relaxing and cozy, and you're just gonna let it soak. Main thing here, just make sure you're not constantly taking your hand out to check it, because it's going to basically give the product more time to harden back up if it's left in the air too long. I hope that makes sense. So I'll wait around 5 minutes or so before checking for the first time, just to see if the product's starting to loosen up a little bit. And that's when you can go in with that scraper and just gently start pushing off the product. When you do this, do not dig into your nail or force the product off, because that's usually what causes your natural nails to be damaged. So light pressure here, I'm just kind of taking off the product that wants to come off. And once I do this, I'm going to start re-soaking my nails again. Normally, I only use orange wood sticks to do this, but I wanted to give this a try, and I didn't mind it. But if you're like, no, that's too much, you can also just use a normal orange wooden stick. That's completely up to you. So that's pretty much my process when it comes to soaking. Soak for a few minutes, check. I can either use a scraper or you can file a little bit in between, but you really need to give it time. I feel like that's probably the number one reason you end up with your nails being damaged, is just trying to rush the process. And I promise it will come off eventually. You just have to be patient with it. And even right here, you can see it's coming off so much more, and I'm just going to soak it one last time. And once the product was pretty much off, I went ahead and unplugged the bowl, and it still stayed warm. So I was really happy about that. I think really the whole time, it wasn't to the point where it was burning or anything, but it also wasn't lukewarm. It was really a good temperature the entire time. And something else I like to do is just take a paper towel or a cotton ball dipped in acetone and just wipe over all of my nails once everything is off. And that is it. No damage, definitely really dry, which I'll show you what I do after. But for cleanup, it was really simple. I'm just taking the paper towels that were underneath the bowl and putting that in there, because eventually acetone will just dry up and you don't want to just toss it in the sink or anything. And then I'll take those paper towels and put it in a Ziploc bag and then throw that away. And you can wash this bowl, not the base, just the bowl top part. So after that, this is what my nails are looking like. And my routine after really looks different. Sometimes I'll go back in with new product. I'll take care of my cuticles. Today I did a little bit of cuticles, and then I'm going to go in and just lightly buff my nails. And then always I finish off with either lotion or cuticle oil. This one has been a go-to lately. This is the ASP Roll-On Cuticle and Body Oil. It smells so good. So I'm just going to put that around my skin, really try to rehydrate my skin because, again, it's a little crusty at this point, and just massage that in and let it soak. And that's really it. I like this bowl though. This is my first time ever using any kind of electric warmer situation, and I'm impressed by it. I love that it stayed warm the entire time because I have tried where you just use hot water but it keeps cooling down, so that can be an issue. Either way, I just like showing you guys different methods because there are literally so many out there, so it's really about finding which one works best for you. And again, you can get this from Sally Beauty. I'll have it linked down below for you guys. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye!